Restoring Illinois to greatness. This is Illinois Rising, presented by the Illinois Policy Institute and hosted by AM 560's Dan Proft.
Dan Proft back with Pat Hughes, co-founder of the Illinois Opportunity Project, and this edition of Illinois Rising. And Pat, in one of the outlets I started, the Southeastern Illinois News, we did a little story this week on a power couple in Harrisburg, which is the population center in Saline County in southern Illinois. Why profile Mike and Angela Gausch? Well, Angela confronted State Representative Jeannie Ives after she spoke against and voted against the massive tax hikes in the special session a couple of weeks back because Angela and her husband were lobbying for it. So we took a little look into Angela and found out about her and Mike. Mike is the superintendent of the Harrisburg School District. She's a teacher in Carbondale. Combined, they made more than $220,000 last year, which turns out to be a substantial multiple of the median household income in Saline County. The median household income, the median household income in Saline County is about $38,000. They also have a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house in Shawnee Hills in Harrisburg. They paid $219,000 for that in 2015. The median home sale price in Harrisburg over the past 12 months, $46,500, according to Trulia.com. This revelation about just how well they're doing, being financed by everybody else, this kind of story that repeats itself, the reason we want to tell the story about Harrisburg, not just because Angela Gausch confronted Jeannie Ives, but because it goes to an understanding that this is happening everywhere in Illinois. It's not just Chicago. It's not just Cook County. This is everywhere. One local coal miner reacted to this news. Bob Sandage, 40-year veteran of the coal mining industry who lives in Carrier Mills, said to our reporter, myself, along with hundreds of others, were working and couldn't go to Springfield to lobby. Coal mines in Saline County were operating and carrying on business as usual. Sandage went on to say, I think teachers should be compensated for their commitment and dedication, but not to the extreme that they are in Illinois. The education system could stand to manage their cash the way a business manages its own cash. Numerous industries across the nation have been forced to make concessions in order to remain profitable. The education system might try following suit.
That guy should be the state representative down in that area.
So he'd certainly be better than Brandon Phelps, who, other than right to carry, is a roll call vote for Mike Madigan.
You know, Dan, these two people combined are, from a lifestyle perspective, and look at it, they bought a house for a little over $200,000. They make over $200,000 a year. I mean, how many people make more every year than their house costs? I mean, that's an incredible statistic. And the fact that they make 4-5 times more than the people who are subsidizing these incredible incomes, the fact that a teacher in a school makes 2-3 times more than a guy who goes down into a coal mine and risks everything that they risk, and health and the hard work and everything else, is insanity. The other thing that I think this article touches on that and
they got time off in July to go lobby.
This is over 9 months, right? So if you extrapolated that out over time, you know, they've got time for 3 months to lobby, or if they want to, pick up another gig. Maybe they could go do political consulting like Rob Martwick, right? So the idea here is, this is the problem that our entire state faces. The state of Illinois serves 3 people: Democrats, including Mike Madigan, and then whoever the governor is going to be, or run for governor, not the governor is going to be, trial lawyers, and state public employees. That is the entire structure is designed to serve those people at the expense of everyone else, and this is the perfect example of it. And if people in this area and in other areas can't get agitated about this, if they don't want to stoke a revolt around this, then I'm sorry, we can't help them.
Saline County workers will send an additional $5 million annually to the state per the income tax and corporate tax hikes. And who will derive the benefit of the $5 million that's sent, to $5 million additionally that's sent from a small community like Saline County to the state? You think it's going to be the kids, as the politicians would have you believe?
It's all about the children, man.
It's always about the children. A report I saw in Forbes this week, too, and we've broken out these reports in my publications, all of which you can find at lgis.co. regional weekly news outlets, but that are updated in real time on a daily basis. But one other report, just a statewide perspective, 63,000 public employees in Illinois make more than $100,000 in salary, costing taxpayers $10 billion annually. I mean, it's just this just kind of, as I've said many times on this show and out on the hustings, I've worked for state government, worked for city, or municipal government. I have no issue with people in the private sector. Public sector. Public sector workers, like private sector workers, it's a mixed bag. Some are good, some aren't. The issue is the disproportion of salary in the public sector versus the salaries that are being earned by private sector families who are financing all of this. It is just unfair. It is unfair to have people making $45,000 and $50,000 financing guaranteed benefit levels at $120,000, $150,000. If you're a school superintendent, $250,000, $300,000. That is not right. It's not sustainable. The idea that Illinois is the only state in the Midwest with more government jobs than manufacturing jobs, that is not sustainable. This model doesn't work. Has anybody noticed that? Well, it works for the public sector families, but for the 95% of people outside the system that are not a member of SEIU or AFSCME or the teachers' unions, that are not a public sector union retiree, that are not part of the political ruling class, it's not working well at all, which is why they're leaving. So this isn't about like, you don't want to pay a good teacher. Give me a break. There's nobody opposed to great teachers. You and I wouldn't have the opportunities we've had in life without great teachers all the way through the ranks. Everybody respects, applauds great teachers. A great teacher is like a great artist. It's interesting that nobody ever asks from that side the cost of a bad teacher, but okay. Bottom line, this is about trying to operate a system that compensates people who do great work in the public sector, and starting with teachers and first responders, at a level that we can afford with respect to the opportunities in the private sector. It's just as simple as that. It's not antagonism because you have this profession and support because you have that profession. It's trying to arbitrate some sort of fairness in the system and sustainability in the system, neither of which are present at present.